The Islamic State grew quickly and reached the Iberian Peninsula. This land is now in Spain and Portugal. Muslims, led by the Umayyads, wanted to spread their faith and rule over more areas. In 711, they began their journey into the Iberian Peninsula. Within 20 years, the Umayyads took control of almost all of Spain. Their expansion was fast and remarkable. They were determined to keep moving.
When Muslims entered the Iberian Peninsula, they met the Franks. The Franks were strong and ruled what is now France. As the Umayyads expanded, they approached these lands and tension grew. The Franks were seen as strong protectors of the Christian lands. For the Umayyads, this land was valuable, being close to the heart of Christendom. Thus, they had their sights on conquering these lands.
After the Muslims reached the Iberian Peninsula, the situation in the Frankish kingdom was chaotic. The Merovingian dynasty, who were supposed to rule, had lost control. Charles, the palace mayor, was taking over. He had to deal with fights against the Saxons and Aquitanians. The region was full of wars and problems. The time was difficult, and the people faced many challenges.
Yes, and this chaos provided a chance for the Umayyads. They saw the disorder in the Frankish lands as an opportunity. If they acted fast, they believed they could expand even further. Charles had a lot on his plate, trying to hold power and deal with enemies. The Umayyads planned to start their attack soon. It was clear they wanted to push their dominance over the whole area.
Conflicts were everywhere, with the Franks having to deal with ongoing wars. The Saxons were one of their rivals. Fighting was not just at the borders, but also from within the kingdom. Charles had his eyes on keeping control and making his position strong. The Umayyads knew that using this unsettled time would be key to their success.
For the Umayyads, the Frankish lands presented a golden chance. They knew they had to act without delay. Their plan was clear: take advantage of the situation and launch attacks. If you're enjoying these insights and want more details, consider joining our membership for access to all our transcripts and to support our work.
In 719, the Muslims made an important move. They took over Septimania, a region in the heart of France. This was a key step in their plan to rule more of Europe. Just a year later, in 720, they captured Narbonne, which was an important port city. Control of Narbonne gave the Umayyads a strong base for future plans. They could now launch more attacks to the north.
Yes, the Umayyads saw Narbonne and its port as perfect for their needs. It allowed them to bring in supplies and troops easily. They wanted to use this advantage to extend their military campaigns further into the land. But they faced resistance. Duke Odo of Aquitaine tried his best to stop their advances. He knew he had to fight back or risk losing all his lands to them.
In 721, Duke Odo achieved a surprising victory. During the Battle of Toulouse, he led his forces in a sudden attack on the Umayyads. The Muslims were caught off guard while they were besieging the city. This surprise move by Odo was successful. He managed to push back the Umayyad forces temporarily, hurting their plans for quick dominance.
However, this success was short-lived. The Umayyads managed to regroup quickly because of their strong base at Narbonne. They were never ones to give up easily. Even after the setback at Toulouse, they focused on regaining their strength and continued with their expansion plans. Odo's victory was only a minor delay in the Umayyads' long-term strategy.
By 725, the Umayyads had extended their raids deep into Aquitaine, Autun, and Burgundy. Their rapid advance was becoming a serious threat, overpowering local forces with ease. Duke Odo faced an uphill battle, as most of his territory was falling under Umayyad control. Despite organizing and rallying his troops, Odo realized his best bet for survival was to ally with Charles. Alone, his efforts were not enough to counter the growing threat.
Faced with the overwhelming pressure, Odo decided to seek Charles's help. He sent a message explaining the dire situation, emphasizing that if the current invasions continued, the whole of Western Europe was at risk of falling under Muslim control. However, Charles saw an opportunity for himself in this offer. He agreed to help, but only if Odo recognized his authority. Forced by the circumstances, Odo accepted, knowing he had little choice.
With Odo having accepted Charles's terms, they commenced preparations for a joint operation against the Umayyads. This alliance was based on mutual benefit, but fraught with underlying tensions, as both leaders had different ambitions. Meanwhile, the Umayyads did not halt their progress. Under the command of Abd al-Rahman, they continued to capture key fortresses and cities, expanding through strategic trade routes. Their advance was an unstoppable force, at least for a while.
Abd al-Rahman's efforts were relentless. He was focused on consolidating his recent gains and pushing further north into the Frankish kingdom. For him, facing allied forces of Odo and Charles was just another challenge to overcome. The Umayyads' strategy of securing conquered areas allowed them to keep moving forward, instilling fear in their opponents. Yet this expansion stretched their resources thin, a fact that was not immediately apparent, but would soon matter greatly.
Abd al-Rahman was moving quickly toward the north, aiming for the Loire River, but there were problems. The rapid advance made it hard for the troops to stay supplied. They were moving so fast that the supply lines could not catch up, which was a risky situation. Some soldiers even left the main group to go for easy targets. This made the main army smaller and open to counterattacks.
Yes, spreading the forces in this way was a mistake. The divisions made them less strong against a big fight. Charles saw this move and realized it was his chance to act. He knew that attacking the disorganized army was smart. The Umayyads, caught off guard and with no backup, were in a weak spot. But Charles chose to hold back and place his men defensively near Tours.
This was a critical moment as both sides faced challenges. Charles needed a quick win because his army was tired from earlier battles. He couldn't afford them leaving if the war was long. For him, this battle had to end fast and decisively. On the other side, Abd al-Rahman also faced big risks. Pulling back could make his scattered army fall apart, but staying to fight was hard with thin resources.
Abd al-Rahman decided to take a chance and fight. He waited for a week, hoping his troops would gather back together. During this time, they only had minor fights. But time was running out, so he prepared for a full battle. If he could defeat Charles there, a path to victory over the entire Frankish kingdom could open up. It was a gamble, but one he felt he had to take.
At the Battle of Tours, both armies waited. For 7 days, they watched each other. This waiting made everyone tense. The Umayyads prepared for cavalry charges, hoping to break the Frankish lines. Their heavy cavalry was strong, and they trusted in their power. Charles knew this and had his men ready in a strong formation. His troops were mostly on foot, making a big shield wall.
Once the battle started, the sound of the horses was loud. The Umayyad cavalry charged again and again. They wanted to break through the Frankish lines, but it was tough. The Frankish soldiers stood strong, their formation holding. Each charge was met with bravery. Slowly, the confidence of the Umayyads started to shake. Charles saw this and planned his next move carefully.
Abd al-Rahman decided to keep attacking with the cavalry. He hoped that more charges could break the Frankish wall. It was a hard choice, but he thought it was the best one. As the fight went on, the stress increased. Each side wanted to win quickly. On the other side, Charles saw the Umayyad forces losing shape. That was a sign he could not ignore.
Charles ordered a counterattack when he saw the signs. It would surprise the Umayyads. As the Frankish soldiers pushed forward, confusion hit Abd al-Rahman's army. During this chaos, Abd al-Rahman was caught. In the mix of the fight, he lost his life. It was a big hit to the Umayyad forces. Their leader was gone, and their plans shattered.
After the Battle of Tours, the Umayyads pulled back. They knew they could not win this battle anymore. Charles and his troops followed them for a while, making sure they did not return to fight. The victory was important for Charles. It was not just about winning a fight, but stopping the Muslims' spread into Europe. This was a big moment for him and his men.
Indeed, historians have often discussed how important this fight was. Some believe that if the Umayyads had won, Europe might have changed in a big way. They think that the Muslim rule could have spread far into Western Europe, but now we can only guess. This defeat marked the end of their strong push forward. The Frankish army stood firm, and their courage showed in this decisive moment.
Within the Umayyads, there were also problems. They faced issues back home that made it hard for them to plan new attacks. Even though small raids still happened, nothing as strong as before. Charles used this time to make his power stronger. He was known as Charles Martel, which means the hammer. His success at Tours helped him become a key leader in Europe.
Yes, and because of this victory, the religious future of Europe stayed mostly Christian. Many wonder how things might have looked if the Umayyads had not lost. Maybe more people would have followed Islam. But history shows us that even under Muslim rule, Christian groups still remained, like during the Ottoman rule. So perhaps the change would not have been so big, but Europe did keep its Christian traditions. Thank you for joining us on this journey through history. If you enjoyed the podcast, please like, leave a comment, and subscribe to support more content like this. By joining our YouTube channel as a member, you can access full transcripts of our videos and stay updated with our new episodes. Your support means a lot to us and helps us keep creating quality podcasts for you.